Yo, what's going on, people? What's going on? It's your boy Cal Griffin. We back with another edition of Legends Talk, man. This week's episode of Legends Talk. Tonight we got for our live audience tonight, man. We celebrating some of Brooklyn's royalty right now. St. John's legend and overseas professional. None other than Ty Grant. We dive into his captivating story, you know what I'm saying, of this captivating, you know what I'm saying, his story is incredible, man. He's been overseas, around the globe playing basketball. He's back, entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get right into it, man. But appreciate everybody for tapping in. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that's joining the live. We appreciate you. Stay with us. And we here. Ty Grant, Legends Talk. Yo.
What's up, big dog?
What's up, my guy?
Yo, listen, you got me laughing because I just saw that opening sequence with no facial hair, looking like a halfway fucking weirdo and shit. I just was looking at it like, boy, don't got no facial hair in his opening scene.
Hey man, that was the room. That was the room, man. No facial hair at that time.
I could dig it. We live by some rules, right? I could dig it.
Hey. When in Rome, do like the Romans.
Do like the Romans, baby. I already know. But thank you. Definitely thank you for having me on your platform. You know, we always was to connect. But, you know, there's a lot of moving parts in everything we doing. So, you know, I got time.
I appreciate you for taking time out. Come chop it up with you, man.
I love it. I mean, listen, like I said before we came on, I'm open to any kind of questions and all that. Like, I pay crazy taxes. I ain't got nothing to hide, baby. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to hide. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, shoot your shit, man. I'm here.
Yeah. I mean, we get nobody ready over here. That's part of the game we love, man.
Game we love.
But yeah, man, you're gonna get right into it, man. First of all, Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn is where you're from. Talk to me about growing up in Brooklyn and you know what I'm saying? How that was in the 90s, growing up, trying to stake your claim to this basketball game.
Yeah, so before that, you know, everybody that's watching or whatever, I got a YouTube page on my story, so it's better on that. Like, I'm just doing two things at once. But my story, I mean, everybody got a story. My story is a little bit more entertaining because I ain't really grow up wanting to be no basketball player. I ain't really give a fuck about basketball. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was going to be the biggest weed distributor in the world at one point. You know what I'm saying? So I grew, you know, around 13, 14. I grew like 5 inches. And I started hooping. You know, I was on some paperwork too, so I had to get out of trouble, stay out of trouble. My pops tortured me. And I was introduced to basketball. But the funny part about my basketball story is that when I look back on it, I got fast forwarded into everything off the rip. I got fast forwarded into the cheating, car rides, getting paper, hanging out with the pros. Like, I got fast forwarded. I don't know what it was. I don't know if people saw my potential. I'm not going to say I don't know that, but I'm assuming people saw the potential in me. But the real story is that I saw shit that people be talking about. I be like, yo, I didn't even know who my opposing players was. But I was getting Tommy Hilfiger from Arnie Hirsch, R.I.P. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm driving around with Lloyd Daniels in his white E-Class when they first came out. You know what I mean? So it was different for me, man. It was different for me. I got thrown into AAU basketball. My high school coach made sure I went up there to Riverside Church, and one day I'm in my crib trying to tell my moms don't answer the door for my high school coach. Next thing I know, I'm practicing with Kareem Reed, All-American. You know what I'm saying? I don't know him, he don't know me, but he passed me the ball, telling me, "Your boy, do your thing, nigga." You know what I'm saying? So again, and I mean, it was Kareem Reed, and I always tell people, which is always funny to me. I tell people all the time. I said one of the top dogs in New York, his name was Richard Parker. Like, never forget about Richie Parker. You know what I'm saying? It was because of Richie Parker I met what's his name came to the room for everybody came, dude from North Carolina, that Dean Smith.
Dean.
Yeah, because of Richard Parker, all these people was coming to I was his roommate. You know what I'm saying? So all these people was coming in the room, coming to speak to him, and I'm like, I'm learning on the go, and these niggas is rock stars. Mind you, we won the it wasn't EYBL, but we won the Nike championship and all that. Like, I was part of that team. So again, I always tell people I got fast forward into this shit. Coming from Brooklyn with weed, going to dance hall parties, knowing all the Jamaican DJs and all that shit, to starting to play basketball and listening to rap music with American dudes. You know what I'm saying? So again, I enjoyed my experience. It's just that when I do these shows and I get interviewed, I gotta remind people, like, my story ain't like everybody's story, because I ain't grew up wanting to be no fucking basketball player. You know what I'm saying? Right. So the turn of events was positive for me. I took full advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? And now we're here.
So your journey was a little bit more non-traditional than the NYC basketball legend that picked up the basketball at 3 years old. You know what I'm saying? They were groomed, and you know what I'm saying, highly touted since they was middle school. Your story wasn't like that.
Nah, but you know what's dope about that and those guys' stories is that, well, it's good and the bad, right? Some guys have this vision, they go get the ball and change their life around, right? My thing was, whatever I did, I always felt like I'm gonna change my life around, right? Legal or illegal. When I picked up basketball, the first thing my pops told me was that if this basketball thing not gonna work for you, you need to manage and run your own business, because you don't take orders. And that shit resonated for me from since I was 14. You know what I'm saying? So, the story, the journey is different, whatever, but we had our reasons for doing it, right? We share the same reasons. We want to get out the mud. You know what I'm saying? Make our situations better. Shit, at least legally.
Right. So now let's go. I'm gonna go right into your high school years, because you know what I'm saying. Everybody I spoke to that knew of that time period said you was a monster. That Grady. Grady High School, located in Brooklyn. Talk to me about your mindset at this time, man. When did basketball start to kind of become important in your life?
So basketball became important in my life the minute I started hanging out and seeing how professionals lives, right? So I told you a little bit. Yo, you know what's crazy about having a lighter? You never know where the fuck that shit be when you want it. That shit crazy, boy. But anyway, that's crazy. I just have my lighter. Oh, here it go. That's crazy. So, to answer your question, Grady High School was beautiful. I didn't go to school as a student for Grady for my first 2 years. I was selling, I was selling weed and shit. And I was going up there to hang out and gamble. Grady is notorious to this day. Well, I don't even know to this day, but it was notorious for the dice games, the spades games, and the tunk games. That's what we did, 1 to 9 every day. And then you had the weed heads, and then you had the hospital across the street with the guys that was doing like maintenance, and they smoke weed. So It was a haven for me, but you know, I was discovered. I had some of my brothers to this day, Big Will, Shatane. Those guys forced me to play basketball. Like they literally forced me to play on a basketball team. You know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. And then I tell people this all the time. I say, yo, I went to school with All American. I went to school with Fresh Mo Brown. I ain't know Mo Brown when I was in Grady. I met Mo Brown when I got to St. John's, boy. I ain't know D Flight when I was in Grady. You know what I'm saying? I met D Flight, you know, at Coney Island playing in the tournament. And it's funny because I played with Norm Richardson. You know, shout out to Norm, assistant coach with Charlotte Hornets, and Jaquay Walls as well. You know, and it's funny because Norm always tell people this story that I knew Norm, but Norm was ineligible. He ain't play. So Norm I knew Norm just regular. We seen each other around. Right. And the coach, one of the coaches at the time, he wasn't my head coach, but one of the coaches at the time told Norm that he looked at me and Norm said, yo, he need to play on the team. The coach is like, he go either be dead or in jail in a matter of years. This is what the coach said. You know, because he knew me for something else. He didn't even know how to play ball. So that evolved into me being forced to go play in Coney Island tournament one summer, winning the MVP. And this big black man named Derek McMahon, a.k.a. Jock, gave me an ultimatum. He said, yo, you don't got no credits, but if you go to class 1 to 9, you go to PM school, this is what you could do. Play basketball. And I was so locked in because I was having fun. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to live life and travel, you know, with that third eye always looking behind you because you know you did some wicked shit before. With basketball, I'm a civilian. You feel me? Like, I'm a straight civilian. So I'm having fun. I'm getting a little bit of money in my pocket. I'm hanging out with Lloyd Daniels. You know what I'm saying? I'm hanging out with God Bless the Dead Conrad McCrae. And I'm getting exposed to this life that I never even realized existed. And, you know, it was either me go to class, PM school, practice, then night school for 2 years and catch up. Or I don't know where I would have ended up. I would have did something, you know, I would have worked, I would have figured it out. But basketball was like, it fast forwarded me into every shit I wanted to accomplish in life.
Right. Nah, that's hard. I mean, that's a lot of people. They don't even know what's on the other side until they on the other side. You know what I'm saying? But with this rivalry.
I gotta talk about right now.
Lincoln versus Brady rivalry, man.
Walk me through what was that like, man? Facing Stephon Marbury. You know what I'm saying? And Thomas on the other side of that rivalry. What was that like at that time period? No social media. You know what I'm saying? And walk me through that.
Listen. Grady versus Lincoln. We were competitive in everything. From how many Grady dudes is on the train to how many Lincoln dudes. You know what I'm saying? But Lincoln is heavy Coney Island.
Right.
Either way, they had a rivalry before I got to Grady, right? And for me to get thrown into this rivalry without even realizing it was dope. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was dope because it was something different. You know, it wasn't violent. Again, I'm a civilian. Cal, I'm a civilian. You don't understand. When you grew up in the jungle, and there's no, like, you ain't gotta worry about no consequences.
Right.
And you playing sports. This is why when I see these so-called tough kids talking crazy, I gotta bring them down. You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas are not on no paperwork. Y'all go to school. Y'all choose not to go to school. It's not like you sell drugs. You just being a bum. You know what I'm saying? But thrown into that Grady versus Lincoln action, my brother, was crazy. It was like going into, I'm going to say war without the guns, but it was like so intense, so many people. It was amazing, my brother. I enjoyed the whole shit, like, but it was shocking, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, a high school game like this, they acting crazy, blah, 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 blah. Shit was dope.
Back then, it was like it is now, where everybody is playing friendly. You know what I'm saying? People on this team is cool with the other people on the other opposing teams.
But throughout that rivalry, ever get to, you know what I'm saying, don't spend time or be friendly with other young Stephon or Terrell Thomas?
No, so hell no. So
Hell no.
I'm gonna tell you how competitive my time was, right? So my time was so competitive that I didn't become friends with my peers until we retired. So we talking. I retired at 33. Jamel Thomas and me ain't have a friendship conversation until we stopped. Well, actually, we had a conversation when we was overseas because I played against Five in Italy a couple times, bust his ass, right? But we spoke, you know what I'm saying? But we ain't become tight until we stopped playing because we were still competing. You know what I'm saying? So it was an element of competition back then that I don't ever think it'll be duplicated, and you couldn't fake it because everybody come into the game. It was different.
Right. Now, I'm gonna have to ask 530. You know what I'm saying? Who got the best situation that confrontation?
You asked him 10 times, nigga. Let me explain that. Only so I know we go get into the overseas pro talk and all that, but the only New York dude to beat me in EuroLeague, any of that stuff is Ed Cota. Everybody else I beat. Nobody beat me. Dwayne Woodward, none of them. And again, we had monsters, so I can go on with a list. But we had monsters when I was in high school that evolved into either being in the NBA or playing overseas.
Right. Now, before we get into the overseas talk, right? I want to talk about your age in Riverside, right? What it was like repping Riverside Church and traveling around the country at such a young age, man. You know, the basketball mental leagues and having that badge on them. You know what I'm saying? What was that like, at that time period?
It was beautiful. Listen, playing for the church, knowing our arch nemesis was the Gauchos, and we're going to more than likely meet every time, was like no other feeling in the world because you had to live up to being from New York back then. You know what I'm saying? Like the expectations was for us to bust somebody's ass. You know what I'm saying? So the pressure was always on us. Even when we walk in the gym, it didn't matter. So just being part of the church, again, I was thrown into fire. I wasn't prepped. You know what I'm saying? So you got like, I always use it for example. So you got Kareem Reed. Then I had LeVar Folk. But when Kareem Reed walks in the building, when Richard Parker walks in the building, that's not my little homeboy no more. That's a rock star. You know what I'm saying? So we on layup lines and people like, oh. So I'm in the mix, and all I'm saying to myself is, we can't lose. You know what I'm saying? So the church exposed me to competition, being the bad guy. Everybody want to bust your ass. That's what the church did. And to this day, I tell Derman all the time, I appreciate that shit. I probably appreciate it more than all the players because them and their families probably had a plan for them to play for the church. I ain't had no plan. That's my high school coach take me up there. Durham saw me practice for 30 minutes. It's like, yo, come tomorrow and get your uniform and come get your bag. And that was it. This is a true story. I didn't even go to the whole practice. It was like an 8 o'clock practice. I was there for like 30 minutes. Durham, we was going shirts and skin, pause. And Durham pulled me off the court. Cal, I remember this. He pulled me off the court and was like, yo, I see you tomorrow. We leaving for a trip. Some shit like that. But he said, come back tomorrow with your mother to come get the bags. Remember that, cousin? That's the shit I remember.
Yeah, I was going to ask you because I know, you know what I'm saying, fast forward in the C. Jones days, the entire team was together with like, you know what I'm saying, road or some shit like that. So, I know you was a part of that. Or
I'm gonna tell you. I'm actually older than my grade. So I was actually supposed to do two things, right? I was supposed to go to Rice, and I was supposed to go to prep school. So I'm actually Eric Barkley and Chutney grade age. Right. You know what I'm saying? I was just a year ahead of them. So as far as academics, right? Because I was a genius. Nigga, like, what the fuck? I got skipped early in life. Like, No funny shit. I was getting in trouble, but I was getting skipped. You know what I'm saying? So that team, we played against Eric Barkley and Chudney Gray in like 3-4 national championship. So it was Riverside versus Riverside. I always knew they was gonna be nice.
Right.
And Glover and them, like I know all of them when they was youngins. Cause I was getting flip flop because they ain't really know, they ain't really know until one time Durham was like, Tyrone, you same age as everybody. Like, why the fuck are you? Why you in the higher grade? Cause I'm a genius. Fuck is you talking about? I'm a fucking genius.
At grading, right? Like you get the college gonna start taking place, and I know there was a few schools trying to, hope that you would choose them. Well, what other schools were in the race other than St. John?
So let me explain that to you, right? So I told you I ain't really go to school, right? So I wasn't qualified. I had 13 unofficial trips, all courtesy of Riverside Church, right? So my top teams, I would have went to Providence if they didn't have Austin Crochet, so I could play with 530 and Derek Brown. I was Shamgar. I was gonna go to Providence, right? I was ignorant though. You got to remember, I was ignorant. I wasn't leaving New York, but I'm gonna tell you the schools that I went to visit. I went all the way out west. I visited USC. I visited Cincinnati, wild trip. I visited UNLV, wild. All these are the unofficial visits, cuz.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was wilding, right? You know what I'm saying? I was wilding. I went to NC State, and
all on the good. You want to do.
You know what I'm saying? I'm there, but I'm not really there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But again, I was going to St. John's regardless because it was 27 minutes from my block. Because I ain't understand the dynamics of it. You know what I'm saying? It ended up being a great choice. And I knew, some of the players there already a little bit. So shit was like that.
In retrospect, you think you would have went somewhere else if you knew what you know now?
No, if I knew what I knew now, I would have took basketball serious during my college career instead of my last year. Right, I ain't give a fuck. You gotta understand. I played college basketball. I was Big East first team rookie season. Then we got Fran, and he was over his discipline shit, and I was on my Brooklyn shit. And he held me back. He made me sit down until the second half of his coaching career. And he'll tell you himself. He's like, yo, I was doing too much in practice not to play. Then he started me, and that segued into the next season. But again, I had my old heads talking to me about taking back. I had Red Autry. You know what I'm saying? Like Conrad McCray, God bless his dead. Those guys used to look at me and be like, when I used to work out with them at St. John, and be like, boy, you should take this shit a little bit serious. You can make money. Until I start seeing it. Like I start seeing all these dudes coming up to playing them crazy cars. Again, I was ignorant. I still was young. You know what I'm saying? I was in college. I was taking major courses because I was trying to graduate early. Because I remember the judge saying I was going back to jail. So I want to prove a point. At the same time, I'm hooping. I'm on the team. And I'm seeing these dudes who was living. You know what I'm saying? Chanel Scott, all these old heads. Brian Reese, they all coming back into the city and they're around me. And I'm just looking like, word, this is what we doing? Right. I got, that motivated me. You know what I'm saying? About the possibilities. Then I realized that at all of our practices and workouts, they were scouts. And they'd look at me and be like, yo, you should work out. Like, simple shit. I ain't know. Cal, I ain't know.
Hey man, everybody at one point or another.
Right.
Nobody tell you this ain't gonna know.
You just ain't gonna know. And again, I didn't grew up basketball. Like my friends wasn't basketball players, so it's like I will work out with you. When workout is over, I'm out. I'm going to the hood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going straight.
Extra. Some people do extra workouts those days. That wasn't you.
Listen, cuz I was doing what I had to do, and then I'm going back to my block. Most likely somebody was there waiting for me to take me back to the hood. That's because that they know Ty. They know wild young Ty. You know what I'm saying? But again, I had the old heads. That's why I said it's very important to have mentors. You know what I mean? I had old heads looking at me crazy saying, boy, this is not what we doing. That's what we doing.
Shout out the voice of Harlem.
The voice.
My God. But yo, you had a pretty successful career at right? You mentioned Conan. Ultimately, I had Mike Jarvis came over from Dub. Like you took guys like Marquez, Barkley, Gray, just to name a few. Right? Take me back to that 98, man. That 98 when we out to the Elite Eight and describe that experience. Like, how was that?
Listen, 98 was so wild, right? Mike Jarvis came there with his rules and shit. And that shit got knocked out the window after the first week. Quick story, right? Mike Jarvis came there. We had a team meeting. He was like, Tyrone, everybody respect you. You the team captain. I'm like, all right. Nigga set a curfew. It's Monday. If you know New York in the 90s, early 2000s, Monday is a great day. It's called Cheetah's Monday, right? I told this nigga, I said, Coach, you can't give us a curfew. Like, nobody gonna make that. He knew, no, we gotta set the tone. If you guys don't make the curfew up at 6. That's the punishment? 6 o'clock, we running? Say less. So I left, again, he on me. Pause. And he says, we gonna be checking y'all tonight. This is first week on campus. He just signed that $1 million contract, right? The assistant coach, I had this chick that was in my crib. She said the assistant coach came and knocked on the door at 10:30. Son, niggas is outside. Niggas is outside, right? Then I found out the same assistant coach, which is Mike Jarvis' son, shout out to Deuce, he came back to the apartments. Because we stayed in apartments, as you know. We stayed in these crazy cribs that was breaking rules anyway. But that's another conversation. Mike Jarvis, Deuce came back to the apartments at like 1:30, 2 o'clock. Cal, nobody's there. We're at Cheetah. All right? We're at Cheetah. So, we at the spot, niggas is going, whoever they meet, whatever. Boys, we gotta be on the track at 6 o'clock. Oh, fuck that. Niggas go. So we go. We did what we had to do, little bullshit punishment, whatever. Mike Jarvis called me in his office like 8 o'clock. I said, Coach, let me explain something to you. The rules ain't gonna work. You got 13 dudes from New York City on one team. We all know each other. I'm gonna tell you this. You give us rules, you gonna forget that you here as a basketball coach, so you gonna try to be a disciplinarian. Or be a fucking disciplinarian and give us some rules, but you gotta give us leeway. Don't give us no curfew on Sunday, Mondays, and Thursdays. You know what I'm saying? He was like, well, if you can promise me y'all gonna give me 100%, I'ma see. And that's how we start. That's how the fucking relationship with Mike Jarvis started. Right. That's how the relationship with boys started.
I wasn't at the coach though,
listen, Mike Jarvis was so cool, right? My first house that I bought at 23 years old, I wanted it to look like his house. We used to be at his house. His house was crazy. It was in Long Island. We used to be at his crib. He was like, I'm only speaking from my perspective, right? Some people, they ain't getting along with Mike. But I like arrogant black men, right? Because they deserve it. All the shit they put us through, we deserve to be fucking arrogant when we got that paper. You know what I'm saying? So, right. Mike rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, but he didn't rub us the wrong way because he made us feel like we was the best thing smoking in New York City. Fuck the Knicks at that time, right? So, he empowered us. He gave, like, literally Eric Barkley the ball, and he said, yo, y'all go hoop. I'm going to make, my recommendations and all that, and we go coach. But he was cool. Even to this day, with me, we cool. You know what I'm saying? That's why I had to acknowledge him at the event and let people know, like, that probably was the hardest job because you're dealing with 13 New York City kids. Everybody want to play. Everybody think they supposed to be starting. Niggas is fighting every day, Cal. You know what I'm saying?
That was beautiful what they did for y'all, man. They put y'all out, they gave y'all kudos and y'all flowers for making that run. And that recognition. So, you know what I'm saying? That was a solid thing that they did for y'all today.
We definitely, I mean, they blame me for it. I mean, it is what it is. It's my niggas. It is. My fucking hands and shit broken, but our intent that for that tournament was to actually go play UConn in the championship again. That was the goal. You know what I'm saying? Because we knew one of us was going to win it. You know what I'm saying? But again, shit fell apart. I got hurt. Tried to play. But again, my injury at the time ended up helping me. You know what I'm saying? Because when we lost, it gave me 10 days to rest for Portsmouth, in which I got the MVP. And that's when all the shit went, crazy as far as opportunities to play not only in the NBA, but EuroLeague teams overseas. So it ended up good for me. I mean, that's the crazy part. But we should have won the championship.
Of course, man. In retrospect, you know what I'm saying? Burns, I'm like, thinking on that. But whatever happened, supposed to happen. But me doing my homework, me doing a little bit of research, and I did find out that you had a little bit of a situation with Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, so
how that kind of happened, how you turned up to a 10, 11 year overseas pro career.
Nah, so after Portsmouth, so what I'm talking when I say Portsmouth was the first of 3 NBA pre-draft camps. So I got the MVP, and right after that, soon as the day I got home, I went to have surgery on my wrist. So I was technically ruled out for 5 months. So I was going to miss everything. That's why I went to Portsmouth, because I was supposed to go to Chicago. Anyway, I go to Chicago just for interviews, and I didn't realize everybody was real interested in me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really play. I had a great team, and I was leading this team and everything early in the season, but I ain't really know they was paying attention, cuz I started doing these interviews and all that. And I remember Bob Bass from Charlotte Hornets was like, if nobody calls your name, we gonna sign you. And I'm like, word? I'm thinking he bullshitting, right? Like, yeah, all right, nigga. Because I seen, we used to have a lot of scouts at our practices. I never saw that one, right? And he had a strange look about him. Boy, draft came. I'm in the cast. I had my second surgery. I'm in the cast just to clean up some shit. Not no real surgery.
Right.
Draft came, they ain't call my name. 17 minutes after the draft, Charlotte called my name. They was like, don't feel so down. We giving you a 1+2. I said, so you giving me a guarantee? They was like, nah, we gonna give you a partial guarantee. And if you make the team, we guarantee the second part. It's like, word. I'm hurt. I'm still hurt. So they like, nah, we go wait, blah blah blah. So I go down to Charlotte, fly to Charlotte. And it's a little bit different back then, but they had 15 guaranteed contracts. They had my nigga Derek Hood. So that's who. So I'm looking at the GM like, but I ain't really care. Like, I felt better. I was healthy. I'm like, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill everybody. By the second week of practice, they called me in the office. Paul Silas, R.I.P. He's like, yo, you on the team. You just can't say nothing to your agent yet. So I'm like, word. They gave me a check for, I never forget it. They gave me a check for $65,000. Right? I went to the bank and told the bank, give me all this in cash, nigga. Right. So then, like a couple days later, they end up cutting Derek Hood and his guarantee. You know what I'm saying? That nigga was mad salty with me. And we was getting ready to play our first preseason game. So in the meeting, they announced that You know, my contract is guaranteed. Actually, God bless the dead. Another dead motherfucker. Anthony Mason, I had told Mace that, and Mace was like, he told everybody to think, yo, they finally gave him the guarantee. The day before the first preseason game, Paul Silas on the board saying, this is the depth chart. I'm number 9 on the depth chart. I'm on fire. You know what I'm saying? I'm on fire. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get in, nigga. I'm going to put it up. We practicing. So, you know, the young guys, the guys with less experience, they practice a little bit more. And the old dudes be on the side watching. And we was playing a pickup game. And this nigga, Eddie Robinson, went and got the rebound. And I usually always get a steal just by coming under him and going up. I went under him, son, crushed my shit. So, I was in Charlotte for 2 years, and I didn't play. All I was doing was rehabbing my hand. 2 years, cuz. You know what I'm saying? So,
paying you, right? Paying you.
Huh?
They still paying you?
The fuck you think I'm still there for? I wasn't on the block, nigga.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, but you know what it was? It was also a great experience because that fantasy world that I lived at St. John's, it got more fantasy as I went to the NBA, and it was everything I thought it was. Because living in New York, we got exposed to too much. You know what I'm saying? A lot of younger dudes like Baron. This is me and Baron Davis first. This is Baron Davis' first year. Baron Davis was surprised over everything. I'm like, didn't you go to school in California? Like, he's like, nah, but that shit ain't like New York. Like, being from New York, playing basketball in the mid 90s in New York City as a young preteen to teenager to young adult, it was heaven because the old heads, you ain't have no choice but to hang out to the old heads. That's why the times changed. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't your own. You like, I don't give a fuck what my uncle said. I couldn't hang out with him and Lloyd Daniels picking me up in that E class. You know what I'm saying? So it was a different vibe, different type of feeling, but that shit was amazing, cuz.
I already know, man. I mean, you over there having. I know there was a game. As a competitor, you want to play, but you know what I'm saying? Like you in Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? You just kind of rehabbing your situation. Must have felt incredible that you didn't be there in that type of position.
Cal, I'm gonna tell you this, right? And I tell people this all again. This wasn't really my plan, right? So it was like an added bonus. So I was excited. Yeah, I was excited I was there and I was hanging out with these multi-million-dollar dudes. But I wasn't like, I thought it was more to my story in the league. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to wait my turn anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? These niggas might not keep me anyway. I keep getting fucking hurt. You know what I'm saying? So I'm already plotting like my next thing, not even thinking about my next move would end up me going to Italy. You know what I'm saying? I knew it was always there because you had great people like Walter Berry coming back to New York and being the top dog, period. You know what I'm saying?
The OG.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, Wall, again, I got exposed to these older dudes.
So what did it actually happen for you in terms of being, overseas, man? Like, tell me about your first trip over it, and how were those first few months? I think it was Italy, if I'm not mistaken, right?
So my first trip overseas as a professional athlete, I've been to Europe before. Like I went overseas with my father. I went overseas with Riverside Church. So I've been to Europe, but my first experience to overseas. I was in this town called Livorno. It's like 20 minutes from Pisa. You know, the leaning tower of Pisa, and like an hour away from Florence. So I was in a night, but the thing was, it was a military base there. Cause this coach is talking to me. I don't know what the fuck is he talking about. That's the first thing. Then I'm playing with a bunch of white dudes. I never played with so many white boys in my life. So it was all like eye-popping experience for me. And it was moving so fast because then we had practice games. Then I ain't know who was the nice. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. You got to get adjusted to that.
Yeah. So it was like I was in culture shock.
Was there
any other Americans there with you?
Yeah, you know who I played with? I played with Miles Simons.
Oh,
Tough.
Yeah, I played with an old head, Ken Barlow.
okay.
Ken Barlow probably saved my career overseas because having him there telling me all the time, like, hey, listen, if you don't got nothing guaranteed in the NBA, you come back over here and make all this money. Ken Barlow saved me because I was left.
Right.
I would have left. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching NBA games. I'm watching some of the dudes that I had under pressure when I was on the court, earning a living in the NBA. So I'm like, oh, I'm going back. Like I'm gonna get this little 275 and I'm going back. You know what I'm saying? But nothing. You know, he kept me like, just keep your options open because I was gun ho. Again, I'm stupid. I'm ignorant, right? Not stupid. I'm ignorant. So I'm thinking like, you know what? Give me a little 400,000 after taxes. I'm just sitting on a lot. You know what I'm saying? Basic math started to come into play. So that's my evolution to just staying over there. And you know, the opportunities were there for me.
Right.
You know, I wasn't doing corny summer league practicing 5 times a day. Nigga, I had $275,000 in my account. Like I'm going to Miami for 4 weeks. Fuck is y'all talking about? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to California for 5 weeks. Like summer league with who? I'm getting a partial. Give me a partial guarantee.
Right. Now you. I mean, it wasn't like you was there for for a season or two. You was out there for 10, 11 years. So, but like, what was some of the challenges that you faced, man? Kind of like at the beginning, adapting to the playing style, the language difference, the culture difference. You know what I'm saying? And in European basketball league.
So I'm gonna say this. I ain't get along with Fran Fraschilla, but I learned everything I needed to learn about basketball from Fran Fraschilla. Right? I say this publicly. You know, no knock on no other coach. When I went overseas, I already knew the game. You know what I'm saying? That gave me a big advantage over other Americans. And back then, it was only 2 Americans as a team. So it was even harder to keep a job. So you had to prove yourself. Like, all this shit, I'm in the moment and not realizing it because all I'm thinking is I'm going to murder everybody. You know what I'm saying? Niggas held me back. I'm going to murder everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's why when Mike Jarvis got there, I was on a killing spree for the first half of the year. I don't know if you know, I was averaging 20 and 17. You know, so I was on a killing spree. But when I got that other opportunity, and I always in the back of my mind was like, I got to kill because I probably going to get hurt. As many hand injuries as I had. So, and then I had Red Autry playing for a EuroLeague team looking at me like, yo, you going to be on this team, one of these teams next year, nigga, just keep doing what you. So I had the support. So again, as I always say, I had an advantage because I had the old heads always fuck with me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, it was different. It was hard at sometimes, but I was in popping cities, nigga. I was in popping cities. I was in Milan. I'm in Rome. I'm in Bologna. I'm in Naples. Like, what happened?
When you got the papers, you don't even know the language.
Son, you don't need them. They long as they know you.
They know you.
You know what I'm saying? And so as long as that's clear, and you again. I'm coming from looking behind my back every day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a civilian, baby. So once that, again, I enjoyed the experience. It was hard because I missed a lot here, but that's why I party so hard in the summers when I came home. Because I had to catch up after being gone for 9 months. Because I was always on good teams. So I'm in playoffs, I'm in finals, I'm winning finals, I'm losing finals. You know what I'm saying? I got 3 championships over there, boy. You know what I'm saying? Most people can't say that. I got 3 championships in Europe. And I played in Italy, Spain, and Greece, the top 3 leagues. I didn't play in none of these other countries, no disrespect. No.
Who out of them leagues? Like what kind of players that kind of jump out at you came out of them leagues?
I could start with just my Big East guys, Dwayne Woodward, Jamel Thomas, Schooney played out there. Damn. It's a lot of these motherfuckers I can't even remember, but You know, but it was as we Reggie Freeman was out there, Reg Freeman was out there.
Out the high five.
Yeah, man, Reg was out there. So it was a lot of big time, and I'm talking about heavy New York. I'm not talking about no other city. I mentioned Scooney just because I was talking to him earlier, but I'm talking about heavy New York. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of us from that you see that's older now, we competed like maniacs with each other. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't really friends like that. We was competing we was competing to see who got the biggest contract, boy.
Hey, that's what I think competition is all about, right?
Absolutely.
But like, so I'm kind of fast forwarding, but like you came back to the States after your career, or maybe correct me if I'm wrong. But when did you establish your company, man? Your Team First Incorporated.
So that's easy, right? So I was in the process of retiring anyway, and I said, you know, I like working with kids. I know this program that helped me when I was younger. So I was selling my condo downtown Brooklyn, and it was a school across the street. So I convinced the teacher. I was like, yo, I was still in shape. So I was like, yo, let me use the gym. Just give me like 15, 20 kids from Fort Greene. I'm going to have them do their homework and they go work out with me. She was like, sure. So I'm just doing this just to do this, taking them to Knicks games. You know, I got some bread, so I'm buying them food. We going out to dinner. I'm just telling them, like, yo, that corny gang shit is corny. You selling nickels and dimes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm having a conversation as a mentor, same way they did with me, right? And plus, I had a brand new daughter, so I was really obsessed with being a dad, right? Anyway, after like 3 months, this principal came and he's like, Mr. Grant, you spending too much money. I think this would be a great mentorship program. So I'm like, so hold on, you gonna pay me for that? She was like, yeah, start a company, blah, blah, blah. That's how Team First started. Literally like that. December 10th, 2010.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So it's again, it ain't no crazy like story where that it's like, yo, that's what happened, yo, I got saved and all this stuff. No, my nigga. I was working out with some kids. Teacher, principal was like, yo, you should start this as a company. I looked it up. I saw nonprofits get, you know, contracted more than for profit. And I started my company. That's how Team First started. You know?
That's tough, man. Tough being that realm of helping the kids out. You know what I'm saying? It's a win-win. But
that's my passion, though. That's my passion. I used to like helping adults, but they so fucking retarded and stuck on their own shit. I prefer helping with the kids, right? Because they're getting so left behind in a lot of things. Absolutely. And just, you know, I know what exposure did to me. You know, so I just try to help give the kids as much exposure as possible.
Now, how do you kind of intertwine with education support and leadership development in your program?
So first of all, you can't participate in any extracurricular activities unless you're doing your schoolwork. I make education the focus because they're gonna have fun. I'm gonna make the program fun. You know what I'm saying? What they want to do, whatever they want to do, I'm gonna do. Just make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do in the classroom. And I tell them it's a trade-off, right? You sacrifice fun to learn. And whatever you learn, you translate it back into the fun you're doing. Now, while you're having fun, you got to figure out what you really want to do or what you really like to do. So you can have an idea with what you may be when 30 years from now. So I'm telling kids this. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling them this just so that they can start at least thinking. You can't, you know, we got too many people that's thinking when they fucking 45. Nigga, it's over. You know what I'm saying? So everything I do, that's why when they talk about this shit with PSAL and all this other shit, you know what I'm saying? People get lost in that conversation because they forget DOE runs the PSAL. If the school itself don't put emphasis on education, How the fuck you think the PSL go focus on education? Just doesn't make no sense. That's the parent company of the PSAL. You know what I'm saying? Again, you may have some schools that's committed to excellence in the classroom, and shout out to them. No excuses, right? You can't do what you're supposed to do academically. You can't be here, right?
Right.
We've made excuses for too long that we gotta save this kid. We gotta save. The times have changed. You know what I'm saying? These kids will use these coaches, use these people, knowing damn well they ain't never gonna go to school, and they ain't gonna never do the right thing, right? We give them options, but if you keep failing, you gonna keep giving them options. You tripping. So I'm from the tough love era. I'm gonna give you options. I'm gonna show you the benefits. I'm gonna show you what kind of apartment you live in. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, yeah, I know your father got on Gucci sneakers, but you staying in that $60 a month apartment. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? So I bring a little truth to it. And if you can fuck with it, you fuck with it. If you don't, you don't. You know what I'm saying? But I'm being honest.
I don't want anybody else here to get in twisted that you can't. You started, you out here, you created this business. You know what I'm saying? A lot started popping off, and all these $1 million came out of nowhere, right? Like, but what challenges did you face in transitioning from playing professional basketball to now running a successful organization in Team First?
The crazy thing that the similarities between basketball and starting my own business go hand in hand, right? I was faced with so much adversity starting a business because there's no real support system, especially if your competition feels threatened, right? It's not basketball. I just can't go in there and just bust your ass. Like, I gotta sit back. I gotta analyze it because my competition ain't really showing their hand. Right. So nothing about starting a business is easy. That's why only a couple of people do it. Now, it's a whole different thing when you start a successful business, right? And you got to keep that energy, which until it supports you. But it's a hard job because you're falling. You know what I'm saying? You got to find it from within. And I tell people this all the time. You got to have a certain type of mental fortitude, especially when you're past like young ages and shit. Let's just say you're 40, you got a family and all that shit. It's like some hard decisions you got to make. You know what I'm saying? And it can go one way or the other. But for me, I was fortunate enough to have another career which allowed me a little pillow that if this shit ain't work, I still got a couple $100,000 saved up. You know what I mean? So, again, it's a hard road to travel, but you have to have a mentor and you have to have someone you can lean on when because shit's gonna get hot. Shit's gonna get rough. Yeah.
Now, before we jump on here, man, I told you what I wanted to bring up is children. No, I'm saying that was just a formality of you asking. Just because I don't mention anybody's children on here.
I respect that.
First, but before even knowing you, right? I admire you because of the fact that you chose for your children goes into other things. In terms of the sports they like, right? The sports they play now and excelling in now. Speak a little bit to that, like in terms of your children, and some of the success they're having in those other sports.
Absolutely. So I don't take credit for what's going on with my kid in the realm of tennis. They had an option. They had to play sports though, right? It's funny because my daughter actually loved basketball, but realized fairly fast she was really good in tennis. And I just wanted active kids, not spoiled kids, right? Just want them to be active. My daughter was discovered by this dude that smoked cigars, weird, you know what I'm saying? Crazy, smoking all the fucking time while serving tennis ball. And she took that and, Just became super good with it. I'm still not happy at where she's at. She's ranked number 8 in the world under 18. She won her first professional tournament, and she's gonna be something else, right? Once she figure out what it really takes, because now it's just natural ability. On the other hand, I got a 12-year, and she's 15. I got a 12-year-old boy that's doing his thing. Love it to death. He's crazy, but he got all the talent in the world, and he can hoop. But this knucklehead don't like hooping all the time because he say he don't like passing the ball. That's why he like tennis. It's just him. So I love the crazy things with that comes with him. But again, it was their decision. They didn't even have to play sports. You know what I'm saying? My kids, recently started to understand the amount of basketball I play, because I don't got nothing hung up in my houses about basketball. You know what I mean? That's usually at my mom's house. So again, we can advise our kids to do something, but cuz I don't give a fuck about none of that, nigga. As long as you ain't smoking no crack. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want y'all to run my business and make me more money. I'd be on the board or something, but they chose whatever they want to choose, and I support them. Just don't be no fucking crackhead.
That's dope, man, because you know what I'm saying? Like, people try to live through their kids, right? Most people, whether they think it or not, your offspring. You try to live through them to some extent. But the fact that you really push, you ain't push basketball over the world, where you came from a basketball world. You know what I'm saying? So you not pushing that. That's commendable.
But Cal, let me give some background to that though, right? People normal person don't understand. You cover basketball, you play basketball. Basketball is wicked. Sports is wicked. Some people ain't get where they needed to go. They lost their mind for years. Some of them ain't never recover. You think I wanted my kids to deal with that, especially with the pressure that I played? I left it up to them and exposed them to everything. That's what I do with my programs. You got to expose these little motherfuckers, right? But basketball wicked. Come on, people don't like talking about that part of it. This is a wicked industry because people sell you these dreams and your family and all that. And next thing you know, you can't get a fucking job because you don't know how to speak to people.
It's a lot of trust you gotta instill in others.
Mm-hmm.
Coaches and coaches and trainers, all types of stuff. But
shit ain't easy.
Your kids are doing great.
Thank you.
Out there, doing a great job. From the outside looking in, you know what I'm saying? Salute you for that, man. Now, like when you think about you also have a initiative where you're partnering up, you're doing collaboration with my guy, Larry.
Yeah. So let me tell you
a little bit about that.
Yeah, let me tell you something about that, right? Because there's a funny story behind it, right? I back in the days, I say when I was in the Bronx, I was sponsoring and supporting Billy Turner at Wings Academy. I talk shit, nigga. This is what I do. I talk shit again because I'm in a civilian world. I'm with athletes, right?
Right.
All the fake tough shit is cute, but let's be honest, right? So I happened to come across this young guy, Ike Gary, and we got along a little bit. I said, let me mentor him, but he was a wild card. You know what I'm saying? Talking crazy and all that shit, mad disrespectful. But I like what I saw because he was passionate about his bullshit. Right? Again, I'm from the 90s. Like, that shit poisons me because nothing ever scares me or intimidates me. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're not from my neighborhood, I'm be like, come on, boy, like, relax, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So Shorty, did all the rough guy, I'm a bad guy, and all this shit, and I'm urging them on because I want to see more. You know what I'm saying? And we had a little disagreement, but for me, it was never personal because I never felt threatened, but I liked him. I like how son was passionate about his bullshit. So I'm like, if this young man, become passionate about some real shit, this nigga, he could turn over some motherfucking rocks. You know what I'm saying? Anyhow, over the years, we've seen each other. You know what I'm saying? And we were in this meeting a couple months ago, this government meeting, well, citywide meeting about some contract. And my boy was in there. So I'm looking, I'm like, oh shit. Son look like he trying to, you know what I'm saying? Because he older now. You know what I'm saying? So son look like he trying to get into this business, but I know nobody ain't gonna really help him out. So we staying in kind of contact a little bit.
Talking at that point.
Huh?
He wasn't just talking at that point. You seen him like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Like I seen him and I'm seeing him. He asked a question and all that, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna reach out to boy. Fast forward a couple months, and an opportunity came up in my line of work at one of my beacon centers, and he the first one that came to mind. I was like, look, I run the world, nigga. I'm everywhere. I ain't gonna be here for no tournament. I need somebody to lead it, and I know somebody who want to do it. So I hit him, and he was in Cali. I was like, listen, nigga, I'm going to pay you enough to come here and oversee this tournament, cuz. And we came up with this dope idea. I give him more credit than me in regards to the whole tournament and all that. I'm just a support system. He came up with this amazing idea of the rebirth, and we go push this middle school tournament. You know, our expectation is that we see, Cal Grissom, founder of all things hoops, at the motherfucking tournaments. But again, we right. That's what I'm saying. So with his brand, like I told him, I said, it's you have great ideas, but you have to find where the money is at. No disrespect to everybody else in New York City and what they doing, but a lot of these people, and it's not a bad thing, they work for other organizations who probably don't believe in what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? And I got this whole visionary thing right. So I'm like, listen, I'm gonna help you as much as I can. I'm getting some bread. Here, take the bread, and I'm gonna teach you how to earn it and spend it. Just take it. What I really like about him is that even through that hard for Cade, boy takes care of his people, or he tries to take care of them, like passionately. Right. And I told him one of the tricks of being an entrepreneur is that you got to be selfish. You know what I'm saying? Once you take care of you first, it's easy to help other people because you don't got to worry about you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just here to mentor him and support him. His ups and downs in business, he gonna learn it. He gonna fall on his face, then he got to get the fuck up and do it because nobody cares.
Right.
Nobody cares. So that's what we doing, man. We doing a visionary team first, a spirit tournament in the South Bronx at one of my beacon centers, middle school tournament. It's gonna be cute. It's gonna be sexy. We got dope uniforms. I had some uniforms here. Oh man, it's gonna be nice.
Or anything you say from my end, you know what I'm saying? Man, like I was saying earlier, I had Ike early on as well. And I sort of some of the same things that you mentioned in terms of his exterior being a little rough, around the edges, but you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, he had a pure heart and really wanted to take care of his people. And I respect that. So,
absolutely.
I got going on, and you the big homie. So anything y'all got going on, let me know. You know what I'm saying? If I can help out.
Well, listen. Your support alone means a lot. Your presence would even mean twice as much. And we gonna keep you in the mix because this is not the only thing we intend on doing. Right? It's just the start of a business relationship. I had a relationship with Boy. You know what I'm saying? I have a personal relationship with him. But this is the start of a business relationship where we're trying to transition his ideas into reality in which he owns it, right? Because this is what this world of entertainment is about. If you don't own nothing, they go sucker you to death. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it is, man. I'm gonna do my job regardless. And again, my passion is always to help people, right? That's what I love to do. But I got certain businesses to allow me to help people. You know what I'm saying? I see you see me here just sparking up all this bud, but this is my other business. This is Wave Cannabis. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do. I've been fucking smoking weed since I was fucking 12 years old, for crying out loud. So, and this is all for medicinal reasons. You know what I'm saying? But Wave Cannabis is a 3-year-old company, and I'm going after I should be your next registered organization in New York State. And when you really gonna know, Cal, is when I invite you to my party to celebrate winning a license. So we're now waiting for those licenses to be public, and I intend on seeing Wave Cannabis there. Right. So, this is what I do. I travel the world with my babies. I grow weed, and I run Team Verse. That's what I do.
Hey man, it seems like you live life, man. You live life.
I'm living, right? I'm living, and I want everybody to live. If I can support it, I want everybody to live. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. Like, all this other stuff is crazy. Like, I don't give a fuck about certain stuff. I gotta go on the beach. That's what I do. I work hard because I gotta be on the beach. Then for my mental health space, I gotta go to Houston. You know what I'm saying? That's my young homie. That's right. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, boy, sure, man. We just rounded the hour mark, and I want to be respectful for your time. I definitely want to ask you though, man. You know what I'm saying? Given all of the situation with the PSAL, like what do you think New York City basketball? What condition you in right now? The New York City basketball, and what will it take to kind of right the wrong and fix this shit, and so that these kids could have these memories that like you had, man.
So great question, and I get asked this a lot, right? So as far as the PSAL, for have the biggest sports league in America, I think there should be sports people leading that. They have a I tell people all the time, Javon Bam Moore could be an ideal commissioner or executive director for the PSL, right? He's in the DOE. He's heavy in academia. He graduated with honors. He was an unbelievable basketball player. He can make those decisions. He would be ideal for public school and decisions, right? As far as New York City as a whole, I don't think it would ever get back to my age group, right? For a variety of reasons. One of the main reasons is that this social media and the effects it has on adults. I'm not really talking about the kids because there's social media everywhere in the world. But the effect it has on adults and their viewpoint is killing these kids. Because a person that has experience coaching or playing basketball will always have a better eye than somebody that never played, right? And the problem is everybody is a pro. So, I run little camps and clinics. These kids in high school can't even do 3-man weaves, Cal. Like, what are we talking about? Right. These kids can't even do simple passing drills, corner shots. Like, what are we talking about? So, youth development as a whole is a problem, right? Just youth development. Now, you add basketball. So, we talking about sports development and youth development. Most people ain't qualified. Get them niggas out of here. They not qualified. But everybody friendly, buddy. You know what I'm saying? And then we could go into these AAU programs where leadership don't represent the kids that's playing. So how much they worried about so they can say somebody make it to the NBA? No disrespect. But there's no empathy for our people, right? So only one got to do good.
Right.
So who's gonna set the bar, right? All these guys is like, I laugh when I hear these arguments or disagreement with some of these AAU guys, and I'm like, yo, son, you work for this white boy that don't even care what your opinion is, and you argue with me. I got a staff of 165 people. Like, what are you arguing with me for, son? Like, I can hire you. So you got to put them in check, not disrespectfully, but just to let them know, like, your boss is the bigger fish to fry, not you, son. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But again, like I said, we have to be honest with our kids. Like, the kids are not as good as people may think. If I say, see again, social media, it's social media in Italy, it's social media in Spain. That ain't it. It's these liars that's around these fucking kids. They lying. You know, if I come in the gym, Cal, I give you a perfect example. The big dude from St. John's, I go in the gym, he working out. I'm like, yes, son, you got to work on your hands. You know what I'm saying? Your double don't really mean nothing on a winning team if y'all ain't doing what y'all supposed to do. You know, and the guys that was in the gym was saying I was hating on them. I'm giving you my opinion.
Right.
So now you do this with younger kids, and it's crazy. You do it with younger kids, it's even worse. Like,
why would I hate on you?
But this is where the arrogance come in, Cal. I said, why would I hate on you when I want you to be better than me, and I was better than everybody in here? That's how I talk. You know what I'm saying? Because the expectation is that I don't gain that. Like, my daughter's number 8 in the world. Like, she's one of, like, I don't have to hate on some. I don't have to have an ill will towards anybody. You see how I live. I'm telling you, you need to work on this. This is my opinion. And if I'm wrong, guess what? I got Andre Barrett, that's in the NBA development office. I got Dane Irvin, who's a head scout. Dane, Andre, let me know what you think about Shorty. I have nothing to gain out of this fucking thing. So I'm going on the beach anyway. You know what I'm saying? You do what you want to do. I'm going on the beach anyway. You feel me? So again, we have to be honest with our kids, and there has to be some guidelines on who's actually telling these kids that they next best thing. I haven't seen a next best Stephon Marbury since Stephon Marbury. That's what I'm saying. So again, when you tell kids he shoot like Curry, like, what are you talking about? You don't shoot better than Richard Parker. Like, what are you talking about? What are we talking about?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? These kids buy into that until they travel the world, and then I go see them in the EYBL in New York City looking crazy, and niggas is laughing like, yo, y'all niggas fell off. I know why they say that, because it was niggas like me talking reckless, New York, everywhere, and we winning chips. So that's what it is.
One thing is that I was big when he seen on the media end, right? When I grabbed the camera and I went to the games. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching the games, and they might get 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I get in 2 minutes, have 2 turnovers in one time, but at the end of the game, he asked me for pictures. You know what I'm saying? Put on his right? And there's a picture of him going up. He might be even going up for a dunk. But I know, you missed that. You missed that dunk. But the fact that your picture can still get 1,000 likes, it validates some of that dunk. You know what I'm saying? He's good with that.
That's one of the problems, right? It gives you false validation, right? But where are the adults? Where are the mentors? Where are the Conrad McRae's? Where are the Red Autries to come and say, nah, nigga, you not better than me, and I'm in top level Europe? What are we talking about?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where are those guys? See, and a lot of the pros, right? And I'm not even mad at them, because these dudes come to New York and don't even watch. They come to New York on recruiting trips and don't even go watch basketball. So what I'm telling you is because I know. I hang out with Kamani. I hang out with Alan Griffin. You know what I'm saying? They call me because they know I ain't going to no games. You know what I'm saying? So what we have to be honest and clear in this development is be honest and clear who else is speaking to these kids. Niggas is talking. People talk. Like, I get that, but you're messing with a kid's psyche in his life where we got mad dudes that got the answer to it. We got mad dudes now. And they don't like dealing with New York people. Dudes asking them for money and all this stuff. Like, your kid not even good. How you asking me for money?
That's a good about back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
If you nice, you should get whatever you want. You get what you deserve. Don't fucking tell me you deserve. I got to pay for your taxi. You don't even start for your high school team. Like what?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I am not against making paper, extra paper, and all that. Right? Whatever. Right? Because financial literacy is a whole different thing. But don't try to sell me on scrubs. Cause then you gonna really hate me when I be like, yo, this bum ass nigga, why you send me this bum ass kid? Like I'm a competitor, baby. You know what I'm saying? Cal, I'm a competitor. Don't be sending me no bum ass kids. Like, you bum ass nigga, like how you send me this bum ass kid? That's your nephew? Like, that nigga ain't shit.
And we ain't trying to go there with it.
Right.
That's the last resort.
You know what I'm saying? So we just need to be honest with these kids and push these kids rather than trying to be they homeboys and shit. That's all I'm saying, man.
Nah, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta say that the premise of my platform was to respect and honor the people that really put in their blood, sweat, and tears into this game. And Tyrone Grant, you one of them dudes, man. You really
appreciate you, baby.
You really poured everything into the game, man. You made something out of nothing. And for that, man, we salute you. We respect you for your long career that you made dribbling the basketball, like they say. But you made something out of nothing, man. You're a pillar in the community, and you're highly respected in this basketball world. So definitely want to salute you, man.
Appreciate it
for giving me a shot to chop it up with you.
Listen, man. Listen. I thank you. Listen, when I see you in that media role, cuz I feel so good that one of mine is in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like that. Like I told you, I put emphasis. I like to see people get busy. You know what I'm saying? It excites me because I know if a situation came up and it was you or ESPN, I'm giving an interview to you, boy. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everything you're doing. Keep pushing. You know, do what you got to do. Be on the front.
Soon enough, we're gonna be on that stage, bro.
You already know, man. So, you know, again, shout out to you.
Shout out to everybody that's tapped in. People trying to tap in.
Yeah, shout out to you and all the good stuff you're doing. And we gonna get together, man. I'ma see you, you know, front row and center at the games and shit doing your media thing. But keep pushing, cousin.
Yeah, man. We all we got.
Love, baby.
Stay tapped in.
Absolutely. Peace.
I appreciate you, man. There you have it, man. Legendary dude, man. Legendary player. Ty Grant, man. St. John's legend. Grady High School legend. You know what I'm saying? Overseas pro. You heard him. He won a few chips out there. And we just here to give him his flowers, man. You know what I'm saying? Definitely poured his blood, sweat, and tears into this game, and he deserves it, man. Thank you to everybody out there that stay tapped in with us. Make sure you check us out next week as we bring you another legend. Legends Talk, baby. We here.